Alright, for everybody who is enjoying my Jack Reacher content and want more of it, please subscribe to the channel because I will be going through all of these books one by one. And I've already got quite a few here already uploaded to the channel. And my plan is to go through every single one and share my thoughts on each as I read through the books again. Now, I've read all of these books, some of them several times. But now I'm going through them with the specific intent of sharing my thoughts about them, giving you a review. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy this one, don't forget to like the video. And also, when the Jack Reacher Amazon series is finally released, I will be doing regular breakdowns and reviews for each of those episodes as they release as well. So if you're a Jack Reacher fan, stick around. There's a lot more Reacher content coming. Now, for today's topic, I'm going to be talking about Echo Burning, Jack Reacher book number 5. And, you know, the thing that's so great about these books is that, well, number one, they're 30 plus books, if you include all the novellas and short stories. And that's a lot of content to go over. But also, number two, the fact that so much happens in each book that, you know, given enough time, you kind of forget the stories. Like, you remember the general plot as you begin reading. But at least for me anyway, I can't ever remember how it ends and all the twists and turns. And so I get to be surprised all over again. That's the fun of rereading these books. And that was just something I found, especially with this book, which I enjoyed very much the first time I read it. And again, this second read through, I enjoyed it even more because right away when I started reading, I knew I recognized the story. I remembered this beginning part, but I could not remember how it all played out and how the story ended. And don't worry if you haven't read the book yet. I will not spoil the ending or any major twists for you. But I will say that this story has some definite twists and turns along the way that really make the story great. So, this story begins with Jack Reacher in Texas. I can't remember exactly where. I think he's either in Fort Worth or Dallas when the story first starts. And it's time for him to move on. You know, he's had a little trouble. He's looking for the first ride out. Well, the first ride out happens to be this attractive Mexican woman named Carmen. And along the way, she propositions Jack. No, not propositions him in that way. She offers to pay him to kill her husband. And now Jack wasn't, but he doesn't want to do this. You know, he's not a mercenary. He's not an assassin. And so he straight up tells her no. You know, even though she turns on the waterworks, even though she's got a heart-wrenching story of abuse, he says he'll definitely, you know, help her. He'll help her escape the situation, but he's not going to kill anyone. He's not a killer for hire. So, you know, we find out that her husband has been in prison for the past year and a half, and he's about to be released. And this is an abusive son of a bitch, right? She tells him, like, he's broken bones and left her bruised and bloodied, but she's completely stuck in the situation because of her child, you know, stuck with this guy's family, her in-laws. They have a lot of money and a whole lot of influence, and there's just no way out. You know, she thinks if she tries to escape and take her daughter with her, you know, this family is easily going to hunt her down and win any legal battle she might challenge him with. Like, it sounds easy. Just leave him. Just divorce him. Just skip out. You know, just leave town. But for her, this isn't an option because Jack keeps saying it. You know, he keeps urging her, like, just leave. You know, I'll help you leave. But she's like, I can't do that. You know, it's a terrible situation. And Jack agrees to help her. So he accompanies her back to the house. It's this big ranch where she's living with her in-laws. And while her husband is in prison, you know, she's living there, just her and her daughter with her in-laws. No family anywhere near. She says she's from California, and she's almost embarrassed to go back there. So she don't think she can get any help from her own family. And so yeah, she's stuck here, right? And you know how these stories go, right? There's going to be some rednecks, some hillbillies that want to start trouble with Reacher. And that's never a good idea, you know. One of my favorite parts of the book is when two of the ranch hands that work for this family are basically told, you know, get rid of this guy. And so they take him to a bar and they straight up tell him, you know, they're going to beat the hell out of him and inflict some serious damage. And, you know, yeah, threatening Reacher, never a good idea. Never works out for anyone. So if you're a Reacher fan, you know that. So yeah, these guys, or at least the pile that's left of them after the altercation, get a free trip to the emergency room. So yeah, that's as much spoiling as I really want to do. I don't want to give too much away because it really is a great story. I would definitely put it in the top 10 of Reacher stories. I have my favorites, you know. I really like Worth Dying For. That's probably my number one. I'm a big fan of Make Me and Killing Floor. I really like Never Go Back. And by the way, I have some of these reviews already up on the channel if you want to go check those out. I have a Jack Reacher books or Jack Reacher book review playlist. You can just go watch all of them if you want to. Okay, so the title for this, Echo Burning, is perfect. You know, it's a perfect title for this book because throughout the story, there's this intense heat wave. It kind of reminds me of the short story High Heat, which takes place when Jack Reacher is a teenager. It's one of those prequel novellas. But it's like the heat itself is a character of its own. You know, it's so intense, so foreboding, and such a part of the story that it's almost like it's its own character. The heat is stifling, you know, and it plays a big role in this story. And throughout the entire book, there's this big storm brewing, right? Everyone keeps talking about it, like, you know, there's definitely a storm coming, and Jack keeps saying, like, yeah, that's what I keep hearing, but I haven't seen it yet. You know, eventually we do get the storm, but not before baking in the sun for most of this book. But yeah, I know this is kind of a quick review, you know, but like I said, this story has such a good twist that I don't want to give it away, and it happens probably about halfway through. Just know that it makes the story. It really does. And as I said, this is definitely in my top 10, maybe inching toward my top 5. All right. If you enjoyed this review, please hit the thumbs up. And if you are a Jack Reacher fan, please subscribe to the channel because I will be putting out a lot more Jack Reacher content in the future. But that's not all I do here. I put out a lot of content, and I try to put out something every day. It's not always Jack Reacher, right? But it's usually entertainment or pop culture related. Every once in a while, I might dive into other things, current events and things like that. But for the most part, it's entertainment and pop culture just about every day. And Jack Reacher for me falls into that category. So if you'd like more content like this, subscribe, or you can go over and favorite or follow the podcast by the same name, Daily BS, if you just want the audio version of what I do here. And if you decide to stick around, if you decide to subscribe to the channel or favorite or follow the podcast, then I will talk to you again tomorrow.